But Dave, what do you think of the office in general?
Some people view it as a sovereignty issue. Boroughs such as Brooklyn don't feel happy about losing their status as a city. They still remember Brooklyn as a city. So many of them have put their aspirations on the Brooklyn Borough President. Whereas Manhattan never did that. Manhattan doesn't have those sovereignty issues. You can't say that the Borough President of Manhattan is the mayor of Manhattan. That's ridiculous. The last 5 mayors have come out of Manhattan. So that's why we have to vote for me within the Manhattan Borough Presidency.
Let me ask you a question. I understand that the courts had ruled that the position itself of Borough President was unconstitutional. What do you know about that?
The Board of Estimate was ruled unconstitutional. The reason they didn't get the Borough Presidency is that they rotate votes. So a Borough President can vote at times, but only alone, not with other Borough Presidents, because the basic assumption, the basic plank is that one man, one vote. It should be one man, one vote. And boroughs are a different size. Ultimately, there's another problem. And the problem is that counties in New York State have county executives. Now, there's 62 counties in New York State. 5 of those are boroughs of New York. In counties such as nearby Nassau, you have a county executive. The county executive has authority over the towns, such as Great Neck or Merrick or any of the towns in that area. We don't have that setup here because each borough is its own unit. So the borough president is a county executive of nobody. There are no towns within the county. And that's a real problem. It could very well be that this is a state issue. Do we have a borough president to be a county executive when there are no towns under the borough president? It's far better to get rid of all the borough presidents and then give the authority to the public advocate and perhaps change the name of the public advocate. That way the public advocate can play the role of county executive for 5 boroughs.
So basically you're running for the office of Manhattan Borough President, but your main position is that you want to abolish the position. And I understand that all the money that is spent to support the Borough President of Manhattan can then be used to save jobs for civil servants. So it will be better to save some home health aid workers. How many jobs do you think could be saved by abolishing this Manhattan Borough President job?
If you count the elections and the amount of money that we spend on the Borough Presidency, you probably could save 7,000 jobs. And also, you can also help all sorts of programs that need money. The most important thing is that we get our people on our feet. There are people out of work. There are people who need help. And the borough president doesn't feel this. The borough president is above this. I don't see the borough president in the borough talking to people. The borough president is too busy in his chauffeured limousine or talking to a very few political hacks.
I agree with you, Dave, but I understand that you also have a coalition. There are several political parties that are supporting you from like left, right, center. How do you where are you getting this sort of support? Like, is this simply just such a great issue? How come nobody's tried to do this before?
Well, people have, but the problem is that most people don't pay attention to the elections except for top of the ticket. And right now, Mayor Bloomberg is drowning us in media. You can hardly escape his ads. But that's all people think about when they go into the voting booth. They don't even know what the borough president is or what the borough president does. Generally, the borough president is in the middle of the ticket. So when people vote, they vote down a certain party line, or they get tired after 1 or 2 rows, and then they just simply vote down the line. This is what's put the borough presidents in position all the time, as long as the borough president is in the Democratic box on that Democratic line. And New Yorkers are used to splitting their tickets, but they have to get the word out. And it costs so much to get the word out that most people will agree with me when they run for this job. But they don't believe that they can do much more than talk to a few of their friends.
How can people support you? Do you have a website?
Yes, I do. It's www.casavis.org. That's C-A-S-A-V-I-S. I'm better known by my campaign nickname, David Can Save Us. But it's very difficult when you have a name with 7 letters and 3 syllables in it. So I'm just going to have to ask everybody to remember it's casavis.org, not com, because this is an organization. This is people. The reason so many parties support me is because this issue cuts across party lines. When I walk into party conventions, when I talk with people, there has been no problem. They just say, you're it. They don't know anything about me. I keep saying, don't you want to know more about me? And I always get the same answer, no, you're against this this boondoggle, so let's get rid of it. Because New Yorkers are tired of being patsies. We're suckers. We've always fallen for these political deals, and we can't fall for it anymore because we can't afford it anymore. My people are losing jobs. I see people on bread lines. When I see a little child, when I see a little girl on a bread line, I say, why is that little girl on a bread line? If you ask, my daddy lost his job. Now, her daddy might only be making about $22,000 or $25,000 a year. And I look at the Borough Presidency, the amount of money they're wasting. They're making over $160,000 a year. I'd much rather have fewer jokes from some hog with a snout in the trough and let the little girl's father have her job so she doesn't have to wait on the bread line anymore. And that's what we're facing here in Manhattan, one of the richest places in the world.